No? Okay.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's really hard to keep up after a while. I just had a breakthrough where I realized that I'm well, yeah, obviously I work in a warehouse, but I'm a librarian of dresses.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I like that.
we yeah. I like that a lot. It's my job to make sure that the books get returned correctly. So the podcast network that I listen to a lot of their stuff, they're doing their annual
Max Fun
fundraiser.
Drive?
Yeah.
We'll
They're
call
doing
it
their fundraiser, and one of the jokes that they tell is like, like everyone who listens to us is a librarian. And I was like, I'm not a librarian. And then I realized I'm a librarian.
Yeah, you're more than me, a librarian.
Yeah. Everyone
what
is
was
a
the name of the
librarian.
episode?
The house party's over.
There it is.
And it was spoken by Joe Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't done the vote yet. Let me bring this up.
That's fine. You don't need to.
I did that earlier. Did you change all the colors? Yes, it looks like you did.
Yeah, I did.
Just not good, because now all my people are on the same team.
Yeah, that's really unlikely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Although you put the wrong number for Mary. Mary equals 3.
Yeah, you wrote 3. Oh, I'll fix it.
Yeah,
It's fine. The score was right for you.
Yeah,
This is actually a historic tribe swap.
Does it actually work?
Yeah, it did the thing it was supposed to do.
No, what's historic about it is that not a single player.
Nobody cares. Sorry, what?
This is kind of cool. Not a single player ended up on their original tribe.
No, that's not true.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Eva was purple. She's now
Wasn't that
still
the
purple.
same? What was it? I fucking read this today.
So either Eva was purple and is still purple, or Joe was purple. No, because Joe wound up on Bulu. So yeah.
Okay. I gotta find it now because I saw it and I obviously remembered it incorrectly.
Yeah, because David and Eva are on the same tribe, and neither of them are on Bulu. So either David is still on Siva and Eva is on Siva, or Eva is on Logi and David moved to Logi. So one of them, and Star and Eva are on the same tribe as well.
Yeah, here it is. The second time in history where a swap tribe does not consist of any members of the original tribe. Oh, Vula specifically. So Vula doesn't contain a single Vula anymore.
Well, yeah.
But it's only the second time in history that that's happened.
Wow.
There's only 3 of them. It's not like...
Yeah. Shocking. I am shocked. Anyway, I assume by now you're recording, so let's just get started. And welcome to Out Without Play Outcast. It's a right broadcast on the Night of the Living Geeks Network. We're going to be talking about Season 48, Episode 4. The house party is over, and the historic, world-shattering, never-before-seen, except for one other time in the history of Survivor, tribal switcheroo.
The other time was Survivor All-Stars.
The original?
Yeah.
Neat.
So it's been, what,
Neat.
40 seasons then?
Yeah, crazy, because that was Season 7. So 40 or 41. Because I forget, now that I think about it, I forget if that was Season 7, or if they drew from players of 7 seasons, making it Season 8. I don't know.
It is Season
Anyway.
8. It was 8th season was All Stars.
Okay, so there were 7 seasons and then it. So all right. One can see how I would make the mistake. How's everyone doing?
I'm all right.
Right? Jinx.
Hey, that's cute.
You owe each other cokes.
Yeah, he owes me a lot of coke.
Actually, I guess only Brian is owed a coke because he declared Jinx. So yeah, you owe him.
No, but I'm under a roof. That doesn't count. You have to say Jinx on top of the roof. Jinx doesn't work if there's a roof on top of you. I learned that. That's a new thing.
Okay.
You're making it up.
I am not making
sounds
it
like
up.
you're making shit.
That is the way it works at my kids' school.
Well, your kids don't know shit. We've been around a lot longer than them, and we have never had a rule about you've got to be over a roof or whatever.
Okay, Zoomer.
Yeah, whatever. I'm older than both of you.
That's true. Boomer.
Yeah.
Switch it to Boomer.
I'm the baby.
I'm a Zennial, and proud of it. I like being a Zennial or Xennial because in a completely unoriginal bout of unoriginality, like that metaphor, simile actually, the word for the cusp of millennial and Zoomer is also Zennial, but spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
who wants to do the reading?
Brian does.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
I'm pretty sure I got rid of all of the typos.
I mean, except the ones you did on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, I made a really frustrating typo today on Facebook because I made 2 banger jokes, but the second one, because of typos, if you didn't see the first one, could come across as really a real bummer. I was so annoyed when I looked in. So I wore my A's hat today, and because I needed something on my head because it was really, really cold in the warehouse. And I've turned it around for about 3 minutes because I was like, I haven't worn a hat backwards in a long time, and I just felt so gross doing it. So I posted that. Let's see, I posted that I was giving off. Basically, I was giving off the vibe of someone who, yeah, don't worry, baby, I'm not technically divorced, but we're separated and we have an understanding. I was giving off that vibe, so I posted that, and then I posted a photo of myself with the hat backwards, and I typoed, and so instead of saying per my last update, I said per my lady update, and that made it sound like I actually was divorced. I fixed it, I changed it, but I was just like, shit. I could tell because someone put a sad face reaction. I was like, oh no. So yeah, this is why you shouldn't post to Facebook when you're at a stoplight.
I'm going to give it a care emotion.
Oh yeah.
Care because you're still wearing your A's hat.
Is it one of the classic green and yellow ones, or is it some weird color?
It's
one of the classic green and yellow ones.
Okay,
the only
good.
other A's hat I've ever bought was a long time ago now, for 4th of July. The league did a dark navy blue hat for all the teams, and then the logo was in striped red and white. And I thought the A's one looked really nice, so I bought it, but I bought it in the complete wrong size, and it was way too big for my head. Anyway, now we can do the reading, because I got my typo conscience out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Marry and say makeup and immediately team up against Cedric. Lol. It doesn't last long because there's already a tribal switch. Reactions are mixed, but because the California Girls Alliance is on the same tribe, they're feeling pretty good. Bianca and Eva are separated from the California Girls, meaning their 4th slot is up for grabs between whichever manages to make it to the merge. A new nasty loggy, Eva throws Star under the bus at the first possible moment. Say is ecstatic, a new looks Eva bonding very quickly with everyone and seething at being with Cedric. The Caligula girls are dismayed by their new camp and set about making it livable.
Caligula.
Calivula.
Yeah.
I was thinking you misspelled Caligula at first. And I was like, what the fuck?
The Caligula girls would be a very different thing.
Right?
Right back there, don't forget that.
Caligula girls.
Sorry, go on.
Oh,
Camila, however, spreads chaos by throwing Thomas under the bus, for having lied about his island journey. Chrissy astutely targets Bianca in order to weaken old Loki. At Immunity, Vula talks a big game about winning their first challenge and starts off really strong in the physical part of the challenge before falling a little bit behind on the bag toss, but still managing to reach the puzzle first, so of course they lose. Oh my god.
Yeah, no
Loggy
after
behind
there.
it doesn't Loggy behind the entire challenge comes from behind to finish first by a wide margin, and Siva finishes eventually. So despite the switched members, the tribal outcome remains the same. Foolish shit. Loggy dominant Siva also there. California girls stick together, but have some debate over voting Kyle or Camila, and eventually settle on Kyle, going through his bag right in front of Camila. That's how they say it, right? Camila? Am I saying it right?
Camilla.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Is it?
Okay.
I thought. Oh, okay. Camilla.
It's Camilla.
Okay, Camilla.
Is it
Okay.
Camila? Okay.
It's Camilla.
Could have sworn they were saying Camila. Anyway, for their part, Camilla and Kyle are playing like they don't know each other and are divided, eventually agreeing on Thomas. At council, Kyle plays his idol and Camilla's extra vote to put 3 votes on Thomas, destroying the California girls.
Yeah.
Hell
A
yeah.
lot of
And,
K sounds in that last sentence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even intend that. I feel
Good
good.
alliteration. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny. Usually, if something like that occurs to me, I do it, and then I spend like 20 minutes like polishing it. That one I just came up with. I feel good. No, I was gonna say the only thing that could have made this episode better, because this was a real good one, is if Camilla had voted for Kyle, because then she could act all, oh wow, I was fooled too. Yeah, they didn't quite commit to the bit, but yeah, that would have been great.
No, you have to do 3 on Camilla. Because if they were lying to Kyle and put 3 on Camilla, right? Kyle plays his idol, protects himself, right? But then you have to re-vote, and it's again tied 3-3. And then that makes Camilla and whoever they were voting for immune. So then they would have had to have voted for one of their own.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. I was thinking in terms of just selling it even more, because I really liked the way that she was selling it. Like her facial expressions at the final tribal council were pretty great. Yeah, Camilla is really good. And I looked up the demographics of Guyana because I was curious, and that she is very likely to be of Indian descent. So we do have an Indian chaos princess.
Okay, great.
Yeah, until she gets voted out next week. But she was more effective than the last 2 Indian chaos agents that we've had. So, or well, not more effective. They were pretty darn effective, but they got voted out basically immediately. So
I don't know. Her and Kyle did this great. Like, she did a great job of spooling up a story in front of everyone that Kyle could pick up and run with without communicating. Like, that was great. And they acted it, I think, just right. There's a tendency to oversell or undersell, and I think they both did a great job, especially at Tribal. A lot of times you see them overselling at Tribal, but they said all the right stuff. Like, we're friends. I love Kyle. He's great. But, you got to do what you got to do. And that's exactly the kind of thing you say if you're in that position for real. Right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't oversell like, oh, I fucking hate Kyle. He's a bitch or whatever, Like, none of that. Just like, we're all friends out here. I love him. We've been on Siva. It's great. But, I got to do what I got to do. So I got to vote for him. Okay.
Yeah. And for Kyle's part, I like that when he picked up and ran with what Camilla was saying, he played a character too. He's like, "No, I don't think we never talked." You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing of like somebody who was on top and is just trying to be, no, conciliatory and whatever. Like that. That was really good. And in fairness to the California girls, I think that they made the right decision. They played it right. They just couldn't account for an immunity idol. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to eat an idol. Like, that's all that there is to it.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, if on Cook Islands, anybody had the courage to just eat Yule's idol and hope that they weren't the one to go home, he would not have won. He would have been out the next week, provided he didn't win immunity or something like that. But still.
I also appreciate that Kyle was willing to be the fall guy. There was no pushback like, well, I don't know, I'm still uncomfortable at being 9-name. What if we make it? None of that. He was like, yeah, cool. Lay it on me. I'm playing that idol. Let's go.
Yeah.
It made me really sad, though, when he's pointed out He's like, we're both Guyanese. Most people don't even know what that is. And I was like, what? Who doesn't? Fuck, he's right.
Yeah, no. Only people like me who play a lot of map painting world video games would know where Guyana is. And no, French Guyana is a part of France, and Dutch Guyana is now called Suriname. Spanish Guyana is part of Venezuela now, and Portuguese Guyana is part of Brazil. So, yeah.
I didn't know Guyana used to be that big.
That's the funny thing is it's Guyana itself used to be a British, the part that we now call Guyana is formerly British Guyana. They were granted independence in 1966. This part I looked up. But what's something that's really neat is that everyone lives along the beach. And so it's like, I think it's like, it's a reason it's like 40 people per square mile along the shore. But the country as a whole, it's like 3 people per square mile because that's how big the country is. And nobody lives away from the beach.
Is it because it's just too fucking dense in there, or what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Why would you live away from the beach if you don't have to?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, no, that's a good plan to say. So, especially, it's. I feel really bad saying this. I feel like I'm portraying the Pacific Ocean, but the Atlantic Ocean is a way better ocean.
Man, the Guyana. I'm looking at pictures here. This place looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah. No, Guyana's neat. That part of Guyana was settled by the British. They brought in, they may have brought in a lot of African enslaved people. When they abolished the enslavement before the United States did, they then brought in a lot of Indian enslaved people. That's why it's not like Indian from India. That's why it's now a very ethnically diverse place, which is really fascinating.
It's a lot of the Caribbean, though, too. There's a lot of Indian influence in the Caribbean. Anyway.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, no, I was surprised to learn that. And Indonesians in Dutch Guyana. I'm sorry, Suriname. It's now an independent country called Suriname. So, yeah, fascinating. You should learn your 18th century. I always get the centuries mixed up. Your 19th century history. There we go. It's really hard.
I appreciate the targeting of Thomas, because, I mean, you could try to spin it a little bit at least. You could be like, look, Thomas was lying to you guys. He was a player we didn't want to have around anymore. If we can work together, I clearly didn't trust Thomas because I know he was lying. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can spin that maybe a little bit. It's probably going to be tough. Now you got out one of their allies and made Shaheen cry. But, it's possible.
Well, it makes sense to take him out anyway because he has an advantage. And
did they know that? Oh, yeah, they would have known that because the Wilds would lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Since he had
no vote.
Yes, since he had a vote, then for a fact he had the advantage and you got it out.
Yeah. And so it's like, look, 3 people, you're all exactly the same. Like, I mean, some of you are better players, some of you are worse, whatever. But to me, you're all the same. One of you has an advantage, so that means they're just the higher priority target. So, bam.
Yeah, and Kyle and Camilla don't have the intel to say, like, oh, we should get out Joe because he has, he's part of a power couple with Eva. Like, they don't know that inside information. So,
yeah,
I think they made the best call with what they had.
Speaking of Eva, I'm really interested because this tribal change could be really, really good for her game. Because if they had stuck together, Joe and Eva, I think the best she could do would be second place. Because she is essentially seconded to Joe. And don't get me wrong, I understand why she I don't want to say hooked up. That sounds wrong. But you know what I mean. Why she hitched her wagon to Joe. I get that. She saw he was trustworthy. He seems like a guy that she has dealt with a bunch because she said it herself early in this episode. I'm much more comfortable around like macho men because I am a macho man myself on the hockey team and everything. So I get it. But she didn't really spread herself at all. Now she's forced to spread herself, and she made friends with David really, really fast. And so I think that this could hopefully get her to spread herself even further build more relationships, and then that way when she gets to the end, she can say she didn't rely on one person to bring her along.
That's true, but I don't trust David nearly as much as I trust Joe.
That's true.
Which we haven't seen a scene yet with Eva trusting David with the information she trusted Joe with. So, to her credit, she didn't immediately go out there and put herself out there with a brand new person on day one after meeting him.
That's true. But I personally think Joe came across a little bit better in this episode. Yeah, like last episode we were talking about how he was his whole girlfriend thing. Now we learned that his girlfriend broke up with him, and maybe they're gonna get back together or whatever. But it's like,
should you get back with a woman who's only gonna get back with you if you win $1 million?
Well, we don't know their life. Like, it could actually be really good when they're together. But yeah, that's why. I mean, no, you're right.
That's the energy the edit is giving off. That like he needs to win $1 million to get his lady back. Like, find a new lady.
Yeah. I really liked how excited Eva got when she started talking about jet skis. I'm like, yeah, that's like, I say this with love and affection. It's like, that's someone with autism for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like anybody who knows people with autism, when you hit upon one of their special interests and you know something about it and you share that special interest, oh my God, there's nothing that makes them happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I talk maps with my nephew, oh yeah.
New Loggy is going to be fun. I feel like there's 3 different ways they can't wait to vote each other out. Like, Eva's throwing Star out there. Charity's fine with getting rid of David, like giving him no credit. Like, it's working out. It's gonna be fun when they finally go to tribal.
And David giving Charity no credit.
Yeah.
Saying like, yeah, she thinks I want to work with her, but I don't really.
Yeah. And then Mary's like, I'll fucking kill anybody. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Bianca's not on that tribe. Bianca is on Siva. No, sorry.
Yeah, Bianca's on New Siva.
Yeah, New Siva. Yeah. I think she's it's interesting with the way that these tribes broke out, where it was 2-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, and the odd person out is actually in a really good position on each one. Like Bianca has a real good chance of befriending Say and sticking around for a while, and then Mary has a real good chance of befriending somebody on that tribe. I already forget who all else is there. Eva. Wait. Yeah, like befriending Eva and getting Star out instead. So yeah, no, it's really interesting, and it's really good now that I think about it that Star stayed on that tribe because that's where her clues are oriented.
Yeah, in terms of like setting up for good television, this is about as good of a swap as you can get, right? It's 2 tribes, they're 2-2-1, and then you had a 3-2 who just took out the 3, so it's going to be a 2-2 if they go again. Like, it's going to be great television.
Yeah. 2-2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2.
Yeah.
I feel like I just activated a spy somewhere. Sorry, go on.
I definitely didn't have to look at the pictures to figure out who Bianca is just now.
Bianca's going to be pissed when she finds out Thomas is gone. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like how Sam was like, I want to.
Has she had more than like 5 seconds of screen time? Like, I seriously like don't fucking know anything about her.
Mostly, I get the sense that like she's liking being catty with Thomas, and now she's not going to get to do that anymore. That's my main take.
In the first 3 episodes, she has had some. Like I knew who she was mainly because. Well, actually, that goes to show you. I knew who she was mainly because in the second episode, Thomas is talking about he wants to bring her to the end instead of Eva, and he wants to get rid of Eva because that's Joe's person, and so he wants his own Final Four. And so everything we really knew about Bianca was through the through line with Thomas. So it was nice to see her get to do some stuff on her own this time around.
There's been very little of Charity and Chrissy also.
Yeah. Charity, there hasn't been a lot of... I gotta say, I really like Chrissy's nice, thick Chicago accent. That's always... I love a strong regional accent. And Cherry, what little
Even
we had
Boston?
seen. No, she's from Chicago.
No, I'm saying even a Boston one.
Oh, yeah, Eva's. Even. Sorry, I thought you were
Yes,
saying
even.
Eva.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we
Even
love
Boston
Jet
accent.
Cocaine.
I love a Boston accent. I love any strong regional accent. I don't think there's any that
Most
annoys
people
me.
shit on Boston accents.
Yeah, but that's because most people are fucking haters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because people from Boston like Boston. Yeah, guess what? You like where you're from, okay?
Yeah, and if you don't like,
I mean, if that's the problem you have, you should hate people from Texas. They're much worse.
Yeah. I mean, I do hate people from Texas, but that's for other reasons. Actually, honestly, weirdly enough, Texas is probably the one accent that doesn't do anything for me. All the other ones, like even that really weird, not weird, but like that really slight Washington accent Washington accent, where they drink their pop, and what else do they say up in Washington? Yeah, that's about it. But I mean, even that one, I'm a big fan of. But yeah. Anyway, she's got that Chicago.
I appreciated Say was like, I like working with strong women, so she connected with Bianca. But I'm like, Chrissy's right here. Chrissy's like a fire lieutenant. Like come on, Chrissy's cool.
Well, I get that. And it's interesting as well because of how she clashed with Mary. But before the swap happened, they seem to be pretty darn close. They seem to be really in cahoots.
Yeah, I think it's more just like, I like that Say came back and she's like, it's really awkward now because Cedric saved me, but like, fuck him because he saved me in the worst way. So like, yeah, I am gonna work with Mary, but not because he asked me to as a condition of my staying. I'm gonna work with Mary because fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, like that's what I said in our last episode. Was like,
how did you think that was going to work, Cedric?
Favors.
Yeah.
Should have just committed and stuck with Floppy, but it is what it is. Yeah.
We have nobody to call Ploppy anymore. It's very sad.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna. That's probably the last time we'll ever say his name, but that's okay. Pizza Man. Oh god dang it! I forgot I was gonna call him Pizza from here on out because of his shirt. Dagnabbit. Yeah, Shaheen showed himself. I think it was a big mistake he's made a lot of little mistakes this season, not believing in certain things or what. Unless I'm thinking of someone else.
I don't know.
I think I'm thinking of someone else. Don't listen to me then. I was gonna say the way that he looked at the bag by just instantly trusting Camilla was something a mistake that he's made in the past. But then I realized he hasn't been to tribal council yet, so he hasn't made those mistakes yet. So I am definitely thinking of someone else.
I mean, well, that's the thing, right? Shaheen can make mistakes, but if there's no consequences, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, there was a consequence in this one that more or less solidified. Oh, they're definitely going for him. So for Kyle, that is. So we are going to throw everything onto Kyle. Yeah. That way he can survive and we can win. We can thrive.
At the shitty Vula camp.
Oh, poor guys.
I just think it's weird how they inherit the tribe identity. Like, they got to the immunity and they were doing immunity, and Jeffs was like, Vula in the lead, something there, definitely not used to it. And I'm like, everybody on Vula right now is very much used to being in the lead.
Yeah.
And then they have to go back to the shitty camp that they 100% did not earn until like today.
And apparently had no food. Like it's like they had eaten all of their food, and then meanwhile these other tribes were like, oh yeah, we've got these delicacies.
Fucking cassava.
Yeah, I don't know what a cassava is. I assume it's a type of melon.
No, it's like a root vegetable.
Well, like a potato.
Yeah, that's why it's like potato.
Oh my god!
You can make cassava chips, all kinds of stuff. You can make cassava hash browns.
Wait, then what? It's the only other time I've heard that word. They said cassava melon.
Pretty sure it's not a melon. Yeah, it's a root.
Maybe there's another.
What the hell's a cassava melon?
Maybe okay. So cassava is definitely with a V because they said it in
cassava.
Yeah. They said it, or you said it and had subtitles. So maybe cassava with a B is a melon.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is a melon. Okay.
There's a cassava melon and cassava fruit.
Wow, that's insane.
Cassava. Okay.
Language, hey guys, language
It's 2
is
S's
nuts.
also.
Am I right?
Fucking words, man.
Fucking words, man. Hey, we use those words to tell stories, and at the end of the day, what are we all but storytellers, just gathered around a fire, huh?
We're also librarians.
We are
Especially
all
you.
librarians who keep stories in our hearts and in our minds. Okay, is there anything we like? Look, this was a really good episode. A lot of friendships were made. A lot of actually, I would say more hatchets were buried than were planted in another person's back. I guess whatever. Like this is a very conflict-free season at this juncture. Now it's going to blow up. We all know that. But is there anything else anyone has to say about this episode specifically? Wait, I had some notes.
Straightforward.
What do you got, Nick?
It sounded like...
Okay, I thought you said you had something, and then Brian interrupted you, and I was like, this is totally different from normal.
It's all good. Wow, we actually covered all the notes I had. The only thing we didn't cover is I just thought it was brutal that one of Mitch's triggers is the M, and it's like, that's in his name.
I know.
It's
fucked.
That sucks, dude. Like, if that were the case, I would go by my middle name.
I did find that funny. Who was he talking to in that conversation? Cedric. I loved in the confessional. Cedric was like, he's brave, proud, blah, all these like really positive things. And it's like, it reminds me a lot of me. And I'm like, oh, so humble are you, Cedric? Okay.
I thought that was a really authentic bonding moment, and like a lot of times on TV, especially reality TV, when people are talking about representation, it can feel a little bit forced. But the way that Mitch was talking to Cedric and saying that, I had never seen anyone on TV with a stutter like mine that was not portrayed as an idiot. So I was like, that's really cool. That didn't feel heavy-handed or forced. And also the way that Cedric, having been a person with a stutter, was able to connect with him. Like, oh, did you ever play those games? And like, actually, like they were able to go back and forth with that as a rapport. I'm like, it's really cool. I think that was just a really great moment.
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing about Mitch, too. I noticed this episode. Mitch is doing it and Kyle is doing it. In the immunity challenges, they're wearing their button-up shirt. And Mitch wears his a lot. But, like, Mitch is very often doing really good physical stuff, and so is Kyle. But Kyle, when we get back to camp, he takes his shirt off. Like, I think there's a very intentional, like, downplaying of their physical prowess by wearing, like, a button-up shirt and playing into, like, a stereotype. Like, Kyle's got, like, the short shorts and the button-up shirt that, like, a fucking nerd would wear. And then he takes his shirt off and he's, like, ripped. Right? And we don't get to see if Mitch is ripped or not. But, like, he's a PE coach, and he's on point a lot. So I get the feeling he's going to be pretty good in challenges. And he's just, like, they're very much like, we're gonna downplay it as hard as we can and wear this for, like, really nerdy-looking stuff.
You're saying they're basically like Cheaty?
Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Man, that episode where he took his shirt off, everyone was like, holy shit, Cheaty.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, God, I love that show.
It's very good. William Jackson Harper, good for you. I remember listening to an interview with him where he was saying, right before that right before that scene we filmed it, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do a couple extra push-ups right now just to get myself get a good pump in just to get it started, because good for him. If you watched Agatha All Along, William Jackson Harper's partner is I forget her name, the Vietnamese witch in that. I want to say it's like her name is Ann On, or it may be On Ann or something like that. But it's kind of neat. Like, they were at something together. I saw them recently. Oh, they were at a wrestling. That's right. They were at Monday Night Raw, and they were showing like the crowd cutarounds, and they showed her. And like 2 seconds later, they showed him, and I'm like, oh, they're sitting next to each other. So what they did was they just had her sit down and him stand up, and they just cropped them out to make it look like they have more celebrities. That's funny. Anyway, yeah. Good for Mitch. Good for Kyle.
I think we're done with this episode, right? I just last thing I would say, I really appreciate that there was no discussion between the two of them. Like, I don't know, maybe we don't need to use this. Maybe we can convince about. No. We've got the firepower. Let's fucking use it. Let's guarantee ourselves.
Yeah, and as you said now, like as you're talking, I realize now why they had to use the second vote, because they didn't know if her vote would be stolen or not.
Yep.
And if it was stolen, then actually, I guess they didn't really have to. Now that I think about it. All right, never mind. Don't listen to me. Let's go to fantasy. I was wrong. Wrong.
I was going to point out that at first I was watching that. I'm like, what's the point of her giving it to him? Why doesn't she just use it? But then I'm like, wow, that's actually a really good idea on her part. Like, prove that she's not about to fuck him over.
Yeah.
Plus, we know he's going to be immune, so we know he's going to get to use his votes.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. We didn't have any bets resolved this week, but we did have some people get knocked out of bets. I had Thomas for the $1 million Deadpool, and so he'd never said $1 million shit, so I lose out on those points. Nick, you had Thomas for the Liz pool, saying he was going to have a freak out. That wasn't a bad call in retrospect, but he seemed pretty into the game he was playing. We have a couple episode number bets. Nick, you had How Long Till an Exciting New Twist. You had episode 4. Sorry, buddy. I had How Long Till an Idle for episode 4, and I thought for sure it would be Star's episode, and I don't know what the fuck is taking Star so long. And then there was another one at a beach, and nobody went looking for it. I was like, come on, I need these points, but no. So no points for anybody.
Totally did the points.
Yeah, but we had some bets come off the board for some folks. If you want to see the other bets, you can go to Oooshow.com. On the left, you click on fantasy. All those bets are there. Yeah, I don't need the points. Brian, I'm not going to start with you. Nick, you came in to the weekend last with Camilla, Mitch, and Thomas. Thomas got eliminated, got you 0. Mitch got you 1 point for winning tribal immunity. Camilla got you 3 because she played an advantage. I'm going to give her the point. And she got 3 more points for surviving pre-merge tribal council. Extra points for surviving tribal council when you go pre-merge, because you want to have those players who go. It's kind of like playing with fire in this game. Fire represents your life, so that's more points. Even though you had no idea Camilla was going to go. You had no idea Camilla was going to be on Vulu, but still, you knew it. Vula?
Yeah.
Vula.
Anyway. Really painful. What's really painful is that if you add my score to Brian's score, we are still 1 point less than you.
No, it would be. I miscounted yours. It'd be exactly even. So that's 5 onto your 18, giving you 23. Brian, you came into the week in second place with 20 points. You had a Charity, Eva, and Mary, who all ended up on Loggy together, and all only got you 1 point for winning tribal immunity. So that is 3 onto your 20, giving you 23. I came into the weekend first with 35, and I had Shaheen, Kyle, and Say. Say only got me 1 point for winning immunity. Shaheen got me 3 because he survived trial. Kyle got me fucking 7 for playing his idol and negating the votes and surviving the tribal council. So that is 11 onto my 35, giving me 46. Which is 40. I know we occasionally get high point totals, but I feel like 46 is insane after 4 episodes.
Yeah, you averaged, 11 and a half points per episode.
Nuts. Just nuts.
Yeah. Go to hell. Well, I have to take someone.
Yeah, who's replacing Thomas? You can choose
David.
from Bianca, Cedric, Chrissy, David, Starr. David? All right. David's a good.
Yeah.
I would have gone with either David or Joe.
David, I get some extra points from, or you know what I mean. He's on another tribe that's unrepresented, so I've got a good tribal mix, and then also, I feel like he's gonna last. I think he'll do pretty well for himself. If we're looking at edits, I think he's got a winner's edit going for him. I can't really express it much beyond that, but I mean, like, we're pretty sure it's not going to be Bianca. We're pretty sure it's not going to be Chrissy.
Yeah. I like Joe, but he's in a tight spot now in a 2-2 tribe. And you kind of want to get Star because she's got that Beware Adventure in her pocket, but this is 2 episodes now where she couldn't unlock it.
Can't unlock it and can't vote. So.
Yeah, so it's tough. You want to get the person with the thing in their pocket, but she doesn't have it in her pocket anymore.
Too risky. Too risky for my blood.
All right, Brian, you got Charity, Eva, and Mary, which was a good tribe mix, and now they're all unlucky.
Yeah.
Do you want to make any changes?
Yeah, I definitely did switch out one of them.
I mean, if Loggy go next week, that's like 9 points just right there, regardless of whatever else they do.
I think. I think I will drop Mary in favor of Bianca.
All right.
Ooh.
I think they're at about the same level as likelihood to be voted out. So, at least they're on different tribes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that gives you some diversify your portfolio.
That's fair. I've got Shaheen, Kyle, and Say. Say's been getting me a surprising amount of points, and this was a surprise from Kyle, too. I was happy to get these points. Shaheen is in a rough spot. I don't know if he's going to do anything. I kind of want to pick... I really like Mary. I've liked her since the preseason.
Now, who would have priority, me or you? Because I'm thinking of dropping Mitch for Mary.
Well, here's the thing. We're going through the waiver wire. You had first because you had to replace yours. Then Brian's next up because he's in second.
Okay. Well, I'll put it this way. If you're not going to take Mary, then I'm going to drop Mitch for Mary.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'll take Mitch. You take Mary.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
We'll do that. I like Mitch. Mitch is cool.
All right.
I like
Andy.
Mitch as a person. I just don't think he's going to give me very many points. Mary, I think, has a good chance of deflecting votes and still surviving. So I think I can get more points with her. So anyway,
right.
sorry. You were saying, Brian?
I mean, I don't want to make Andy more ahead, but I want to point out that Camilla did not actually play the advantage. She gave it to Kyle, and he did.
I know. When I was counting up the points, I said I'm going to give it to Camilla. I'm going to give it to her. She functionally played it. She told him what to do. He did what she told him to do. I'm counting it for her.
Thank you. I need your pity points.
I just, we got to do these things like as they come up. Some of this is weird situations.
Yeah, we're all commissioners in this league.
Yeah, totally. Brian, did you want to pick up Shaheen now that he's available?
No, I do not.
All right, not that interested. So we got actually a surprising amount of mix up this episode in our tribes here, our teams.
That's because Brian and I are desperate at this point.
We're pretty fucked now. It's okay. Andy's gonna lose the next 3 people, and then
get a turkey and get a lot of the points back.
It's fully believable that Say is going next, and then Kyle because of the move he pulled, and then Mitch for no good fucking reason.
Yeah, so we shall see. Which seems to be, because I said we shall see, the end of the episode. So everyone take care, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Always. Okay, cool. We got a nice, reasonably shorty one. I'll edit some of the crosstalk if I remember. If not, whatever. And I actually remembered to write down the episode title. So there we go. Yeah, well, because normally I'm like, oh, that's funny. We'll do that one. That'll be the thing, and then I don't remember it when I start to edit. So
now you got to put a ding on it when it comes up in the episode. You got to edit for that.
No, I don't. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.